Lost Love Chronicles. Intro. What would you do if the person you trusted most in the world became your greatest enemy? How far would you go to save a marriage that's already dead? Tonight's story will challenge everything you think you know about love, betrayal, and the dark secrets that hide behind closed doors. Stay with me, because this twisted tale of an open marriage gone wrong will shock you to your core. The question isn't who killed Rachel Morrison. The question is why. It took so long. The story: Michael stared at the blood on his hands, but it wasn't what you think. 3 days ago, his wife Rachel had vanished without a trace, and now Detective Chen was convinced he was a murderer. The irony wasn't lost on him after all. Hadn't he been dying slowly for months anyway? Your wife's car was found at Miller's Lake, Detective Chen said, sliding photos across the interrogation table. Blood on the driver's seat, her purse still inside, but no Rachel. Care to explain? Michael's wedding ring felt like a noose around his finger. I already told you. I don't know where she is, but that was a lie. He knew exactly where Rachel had been for the past 3 months: in James Morrison's bed, in James Morrison's arms, planning a future that didn't include her husband of 7 years. The open marriage had been Rachel's idea, actually, though she'd let him think it was his. "We're growing apart, Michael," she'd said one night over dinner that neither of them ate. "Maybe if we explore other connections, we'll appreciate what we have, what they had." Past tense, even then. Michael had reluctantly agreed, thinking it might save them. Instead, it became their funeral march. While he struggled to even look at other women, Rachel bloomed like a flower in spring rain. She started staying out late, laughing at her phone, buying new lingerie that he never saw. The night she disappeared, Michael had finally worked up the courage to confront her. He'd read the messages on her phone, stolen glances when she left. It charging in the kitchen. The words burned in his memory. "I can't keep pretending with Michael. I'm ready to leave him," James had replied. "Then leave him. I love you, Rachel. Choose me." "I know about James," he'd said when she came home that night at midnight. Lipstick gone, hair mussed. Rachel had frozen in the doorway, her keys still in her hand. For a moment, she looked like the woman he'd married, vulnerable, caught off guard. Then her face hardened. "I was going to tell you." When? After the divorce papers were filed. "Michael, please. This isn't how I wanted." "How?" "You wanted what? To destroy me, to make me feel like I wasn't enough." That's when she'd laughed. Actually laughed. Sound cut through him like broken glass. "Not enough. Michael, you stopped trying to be enough years ago. You stopped seeing me, stopped wanting me. The open marriage was supposed to wake you up, make you fight for me. Instead, you just let me go." The fight had escalated quickly. Words became weapons, and weapons became something worse. But Michael swore to Detective Chen, swore on his mother's grave, that Rachel had walked out alive. Angry, yes. Crying, yes. But alive. She left around 2 a.m., he insisted. Said she was going to James's place. Said she'd come back for her things. But she never made it to James's apartment. Detective Chen replied smoothly. "He called us when she didn't show up. Quite concerned, actually. Says you threatened him." Another lie. But Michael couldn't explain without sounding guilty. He'd called James. Yes, he'd said things he wasn't proud of. But threatening? No. Begging was more accurate. Begging another man not to steal his wife. The blood in Rachel's car wasn't hers. The DNA results had come back that morning, though. Detective Chen hadn't mentioned that yet. It was Michael's blood, from where he'd cut his hand trying to fix her passenger door handle weeks ago. She'd been complaining it was sticking. But here's what Michael didn't know, what no one knew yet. Rachel wasn't dead. She was very much alive. sitting in a cabin 200 miles away with James Morrison, watching the news coverage of her own disappearance. They'd planned it perfectly. The staged car scene, the blood evidence, even James's concerned phone call to police. He'll never. "Let me go," Rachel had told James. "Not willingly. He's too possessive, too controlling. But if he thinks I'm dead, insurance money?" James had added with a grin. $2 million. "We can start fresh somewhere far away." The plan was simple. Let Michael take the fall for murder, claim the insurance money, and disappear forever. Rachel had even practiced her tears for when they eventually found her. Traumatized but alive after Michael's conviction. But plans have a way of unraveling, especially when they're built on lies. Detective Chen's phone buzzed during the interrogation. A text message that made him frown. "What is it?" Michael asked, noticing the change in the detective's expression. Showed him the message. "Found something at the cabin. You need to see this." Officer Martinez, 20 minutes later. Chen was staring at surveillance footage from a gas station near the lake. There was Rachel, very much alive, filling up a different car, one registered to James Morrison. Timestamp: 3 hours after she supposedly disappeared. Meanwhile, back at the cabin, Rachel was discovering that James wasn't the man she thought he was. The insurance scam was just the beginning. He'd done this before, in 3 other states, with 3 other women. Only those women hadn't been as lucky as Rachel was about to be. "You were never supposed to see those," James said calmly. Watching Rachel flip through newspaper clippings about missing women. "But now that you have." The knife in his hand caught the afternoon sunlight streaming through the cabin windows. Rachel finally understood what Michael had been trying to tell her all along: some mistakes can't be undone. Some doors once opened can never be closed again. The irony was perfect. In trying to frame her husband for murder, Rachel had walked straight into the arms of a real killer. Not true. So what happened to Rachel? Did she escape James's cabin of horrors, or become another newspaper clipping in his collection? And what about Michael sitting in a jail cell accused of a crime he didn't commit, while his wife's real killer plans his next move? The truth about love is this: it can make us do terrible things. It can turn victims into villains and angels into demons. Sometimes the person trying to save you is the very person you're running from. If you enjoyed this twisted tale of love gone wrong, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Leave a comment below. Do you think Rachel deserves what's relieved? What's coming to her? Or is she just another victim of her own bad choices? And remember, in the game of love and betrayal, nobody wins, ... they just survive. Until next time, sleep tight, and remember, the person lying next to you might not be who you think they are.